Greetings and welcome to another episode of Ball Chat Podcast. As you can see, this is Junior and my beard is growing out. This is how stressed I am right now. But on the air to help me feel better as these weeks go by in quarantine, my family, Benton and come on. Benton, come on, what's going on?
Nothing much, just sitting there looking in space like everybody else.
Ay, ay, ay. You see anything in the stars?
No, just clouds.
Oh my God. Benton, you
Yo,
can cheer me up?
what's popping? Football lovers, welcome to Junior, the man who snake and gardening video live on Facebook now. Junior, what is the problem with the snakes, brother?
Boy, let me tell you something. For all those who don't know, I'm a farmer, I'm a big time farmer. I have a 6 by 6 foot plot of land that I can farm and I can grow yam, banana, planting. You ever see dumpling grow yet? I can grow dumpling as well. But for some reason, I have a lot of snakes around the backyard every spring. And you know I'm living in Atlanta, Georgia, so we have a winter, and then we have to till the ground, and every year around this time I'm killing snakes. And yesterday I killed, oh Peter, I'm sorry, I'm getting rid of snakes. And yesterday I had to get rid of 5 snakes.
Why, football lovers, why is Junior disturbing the snake? Live and let live, brother.
Later,
Live and let live.
live and let live. You're crazy. Hey,
Come on, the man I walk around in my shit and look for snake. All right. Football lovers, welcome to another episode of Ball Chat Podcast. Hopefully you're safe and you're healthy and at peace. Well, come on, looking up in the stars. I don't know how much at peace she is, but she's actually safe and sound. I'm glad and hope someone is doing healthy out there. Football lovers, Ball Chat Podcast is all about reviewing the week's major news in the world of soccer, aka football. You know, we have some major stories that came out this week. We'll discuss them for a bit. We don't want to say that football takes more superiority or is more priority over the present situation, the present climate. We just hopefully for the next 30 or 40 minutes to an hour or so, we'll take your mind off the present situation with COVID-19. Of course, we'll discuss COVID-19, the latest impact on the world of football, and we'll just have a laugh. Football family, if you join us on Ball Chat Podcast Facebook page, Ball Chat Podcast YouTube page, you can send on your comments or questions. If you join us on Island Sports Network YouTube page, you can also send on your comments or question. So, kicking it off, one league is official. It's done. The Belgian Football League, Pro League is done. Club Brugge is a champion. You know, one more game was left in the season, but the Belgian Football Association said, why bother? Let's call this thing. Your thoughts, come on, what do you think? That they should have waited to end the season?
Uh, but you know what? They say it's the cancellation is a recommendation. They still have to meet with the General Assembly on April 15 to rubber stamp it. So maybe someone might just say, listen, we can't afford to lose all this money on second thought and pluck it back from Club Rouge and keep the league playing. But I mean, look at it. Belgium is not as bad as Spain and Italy, but they still have their issues. And I think they looked at it because I think how the Belgium league is set up, that they had one more game left in the call it regular season, and then they split the teams in half, so top six bottom, and they play each other. So they had 11 games left. So maybe they just thought that it wasn't worth it. So let's just see how it goes. I mean, in any case, health of players and fans should be paramount. So
Yes. Big up El Pistolero. El Pistolero said, blessed Sunday to all my fellow inmates. Yo, El Pistolero, you can have 3 meals a day. Don't worry, inmate. But Junior, you've always said that this is over, this football season as it is. But this is just more rubber stamp for your thing with the Belgian Pro League being called.
I think it's all of these and I think it's all of these leagues trying to find um, a common ground without coming to the table, obviously, which I think all the world leagues should do anyway. But I think we saw with the English what the last tier, what, third tier, fourth tier, that they canceled the whole league, and now in Belgium they're taking it a step further. So what will be next? Is the next now going to be that a league is going to come out and say, here's the winner, and here is who qualified for Champions League, or here is the winner, and here who is relegated from the league? Maybe that's the next step. I don't know.
Yeah. Big up Kari James watching us on Ball Chat Facebook page. Kari said, Kari James, he said that the decision is premature. Do you think it's premature? Come on, knowing that they still have to go in that playoff segment. You alluded to that Belgium is not hit, hard, at least as it currently stands regarding COVID-19 cases, relative to other places. Do you think that it's a bit premature, according to Mr. James on our Facebook page?
I do think so. I think they should at least have waited, because even though they made this decision, they still have not decided if they're going to relegate any teams or if they're going to promote any teams up. So I think it's still a work in progress. They could have suspended the league like everybody else and just probably figured it out some more before. Because they're even talking about the winner, the champions, not actually getting a spot. I mean, UEFA is still saying that they still have to figure it out. So I do think, it was a little bit too premature. They should have waited a little bit. I mean, it's what's the harm in waiting?
And as of April 5th, Belgium reported 19,000 confirmed cases of COVID-19. So I think they're probably trying to be more aggressive, trying to exercise social distance and more isolation in place. So, football, like you said at the top of the show, is secondary. We don't have no time for waste and hopes that something come back around. They have to divide resources. But regarding the Belgian league, also, Boza Shamar Nicholson had an exceptional year. He did an interview with check out it in the Jamaican Gleaner, and he said, I just trying to paraphrase. It was just so appreciative of what he accomplished this year playing in this league. Scored 9 goals, and will be playing Europa League football. Your assessment and your thoughts of what he did this year, football family.
Come on, Yago.
Yeah, I mean, for any young Jamaican to go out there on the world stage, because this is his first year on a level like this. I mean, yeah, his club before was okay, and he did play Europa, but this is a really big league and a really big club. And even though sometimes, they didn't give him the start for what reason, he always went on the pitch and he showed why he was deserving of the contract that he received. So, for any young player to step out of their comfort zone and do really well in his first year is commendable, and he should be commended. His nose clean, didn't get in any trouble, and still is a mama's boy. I mean, it's commendable for both.
El Pistolero said, I would have loved Nicholson to get a chance to go to the Champions League. Nicholson's team, SC Shirley, finished 3rd, at least as it currently stands, with the league being cancelled. So now they qualify to play in the Europa League if things remain the same. El Pistolero also says if they had played the last game, they would have had a chance. And big up Bubba Peace watching us on Facebook, Ball Chat Facebook page. Bubba Peace said, come on, Lee. Agreed with Kari James. Rain out of fall. That's me.
Always a fight.
Yeah, so Junior, you're gonna say something about Shamar and his year and so forth. Looking forward to him as we get the back end of this pandemic and him probably playing in the Europa League.
Yeah, looking at the glass half full, I think that he had a very good year. I think he got an opportunity to show what he can do and put it on tape, put it on professional tape. And now that the world is about to have a reset, again, looking at it from the glass half full, now he has a chance now to parlay his skills and his talent, because we don't know what the world look like post pandemic. We don't know what the leagues look like. We don't know what the contract situations look like. So maybe he can use this as an opportunity to even get to a higher height. From the glass half empty though, I really feel sorry for him that he's one of those players that his stock was rising and rising astronomically from a Jamaican's perspective. Now, a non-Jamaican might say he's just any other forward. But for me, seeing a striker like that and seeing where he's coming from and where he is now and what he's showing on the field, I would have really hoped that he would have the opportunity to play 12 months round and keep growing. But hopefully, Shamar, you're following the protocols, following the direction of your coaching staff. Keep fit, because you're going to get your opportunity. You're still young. And I really expect great things from him. Really, really expect great things from him.
And the article, to make a correction, is in the Jamaican Observer, written by one Mr. Dwayne Richards. If you want to check it out, an article overviewing Boza. Shamar Nicholson said that he was blown away after realizing his European dreams of playing European football, of playing in Europe.
Can I ask a question though?
Yeah, go ahead.
Anybody that's on Island Sports right now or on Facebook, tell us what do you really think about Shamar Nicholson? As we move on, and we will come back to those comments. But what do you guys really think about Shamar Nicholson? And real quick, the question just came to me. As a Jamaican footballer, from a Jamaican perspective, has Shamar taken the biggest steps professionally of all the players that play in or from Jamaica? Do you think he had the best year so far?
Okay.
Pre-pandemic. I'm just curious to know.
Just curious. So, Junior trying to get the pulse of the people. And once again, football lovers, join us on Island Sport Network or Ball Chat, Facebook or YouTube page. This is Ball Chat Podcast, where we discuss the major news in the world of football. Of course, there's no football. COVID-19 is at the center of everything that we do in our daily lives recently. And so ultimately, Ball Chat Podcast hopefully will take your mind away from the current pandemic and current climate and just enjoy ourselves for a few minutes or 30 minutes to an hour and discuss some football. Come on, Anderlecht. We'll get to Kamara Lawrence in a little bit, but he just made the move to Anderlecht. Anderlecht, Vincent Kompany, the coach or player coach of Anderlecht, there seems to be a dispute with the players of Anderlecht and the club regarding accepting pay cuts. And Kompany stepped forward, say if there's an agreement reached, he will pay or cover the costs of those players. I mean, care to comment on that? I mean, that's quite, and this is in the Sun as of today, in today's Sun report.
We don't want to get in the habit of quoting the Sun here.
Yes, we don't. But according to, we just have to highlight who we get it from.
You know what? I've been saying that these players, some of them are grossly overpaid. We don't know the salary of anybody at Anderlecht, and I doubt it's as they get as much money as the top, the top players in different leagues around the world. That being said, it's their money. They signed a contract. They're supposed to be paid. If they don't want to take a pay cut, I mean, I'm not going to knock them. They must know why they don't want to take a pay cut. And I've been reading like across the leagues and whatever, and I've been reading where the players are disgruntled because they're being asked to give up their salaries while the billionaire owners don't want to give up anything, in the same breath. So if Anderlecht players don't want to take a pay cut, so hold a second. So Vincent Kompany saying, go and make up. Why not just give a donation to the club? Why not want to just pay the club? Well, whatever the difference is that the club needs to make up, then Vincent Kompany should put it out of his pocket. Let the players keep their money.
And I think that's also in the report. But like you said, we can't trust the sun or the mirror. But if it's true, he's offered to bail out the club or help the club if necessary. So it's just a man stepping forward to trying to help to make a difference. Big up to Damian Stevenson watching us on Island Sports Network. Damian Stevenson said he is the best right now from Jamaica regarding Shamar Nicholson. And football lovers, wherever you're watching us in the world, how are you doing? Hopefully you're safe. Hopefully you guys are following the guidelines. How is it where you are? Chime in and let us know. You know, as El Pistolera says, we are the inmates. you know, but come on, you made a big point about regarding the players and these teams and the salary, and we're gonna get into the meat of that now regarding the English Premier League. Wayne Rooney had a scathing criticism of the Premier League Clubs Association and the Minister of Health in a recent article. You know, the players are being asked to take a 30% cut. Wayne Rooney said that he feels that this should have been kept behind closed doors rather than being made public. Most of the negotiation in the EPL and the football association and the players have been done behind closed doors. Why is this pushed in the public when the negotiations are still going on? So it's like they're trying to push the players into a corner. Your thoughts on that? Should the players in the EPL take a 30% pay cut? Rooney believe that it should be done by player case by case basis. You know, some players can afford to do that, and some players cannot. Come on.
Why me?
All right, Junior then.
No.
Rastafari. Snake man, roll out.
No. All right, wait. But listen, so Rooney is my favorite, right? Might be Junior's favorite because the Manchester United connection. So when Rooney is my favorite player, but in regards to what he's saying, he's correct, right? Base is it should be based on the player. For example, you have maybe Raheem Sterling who can afford to take a 30% pay cut. Then you have another player who may be younger, maybe like a Hudson. Like a Hudson, yeah. I'm trying to see if there's a younger player, whatever, that can't afford 30%. Because then when you think, I mean, we say it's a lot of money when we hear it, but when you talk about taxes and whatever and their lifestyle, maybe it is just enough, right? So it should be based on the player for real. And yeah, I mean, why are you making this public? You know, why not just have the discussions behind closed doors and then they proceed as all they discuss whatever the agreement is. Then you go, so they are trying to, I think, in a sense, bully the players into taking 30% pay cut.
The Minister of Health and Security in the UK came out and said, and pretty much threw the players under the bus, saying that they should take this pay cut. Your thoughts on this, Junior? I mean, it almost seems like the players are being vilified in the situation. Wayne Rooney says it's a disgrace, and players are put in a quote no-win situation. You know, if they don't take the pay cut because they cannot afford it, they're going to be made out to be really bad people. Or if they do, just appease the masses.
I think both sides are wrong. Both sides are wrong.
Both sides are wrong.
Obviously, the health minister need to go worry about Mr. Boris, whatever he want name, and him telling people that they want to fight it. And I'm not going to get political, but go, Mr. Minister, go talk to him. But the players, the second the news came down that the league was going to be suspended for however long period of time, it should have been an automatic decision by the players to say, not 30%, not 20%, not whatever, but just, I am willing to give £10,000 or whatever. I know that's not 30%, but I'm willing to give X amount of dollars to help the people. And my favorite guy, my favorite equipment guy, or my favorite cook, or my favorite this, or my favorite this. They should have stepped up and did it. Now, mandating that the players should give money, I don't think that's a good precedent, because what's going to make Messi want to come play for England, or the next Messi to come and play in England, when there's going to be something in the back of his brain that says this country can come in and tell you that you have to give money back. What is stopping the country now, or the health minister or whoever, to come and say, you know what, give me 75% of your paycheck? If they give them 30, what's going to stop the next time around? So it's not a good precedent. But the players, I think the players, and probably they have behind closed doors under different names because they don't want to show up their fellow teammates. And that's another thing that came to me. We're not talking about English players here. Why should a Brazilian playing in England give money back to England? Why shouldn't that Brazilian give the 30% to Brazil? So you want me give 30% to England, and then Brazil come and say, wait, you need to give me 30%. So now I'm going to be out 60%. Plus, if my wife is from Spain, her country might come in and say, oh, you can give me 30%. It sounds ridiculous, but those are the arguments that can happen once you get government and ministers come in and start dictating how you should give them money. I just think it's a bad precedent. But the players should share some blame too.
Damien Stevenson, watching us on Island Sports Network, said we have good football players in Jamaica. All of them have to just keep the work and doing. One day your time will come. Continue. We're talking about the situation with the comments by Wayne Rooney. Kyrie James, watching us on Facebook page, says Wayne is correct. They should have discussed this behind closed doors before Health Minister opened his big mouth.
Oh Lord, we're not gonna fall. Kerry is not supposed to agree with me ever.
All right, so linking this with the EPL, continuing this situation about 30% cut for the players. You know, Danny Rose has been on record saying that he's willing to help whatever it needs to be. He's willing to support. Andres Townsend has been on record. By the way, it's how come up here, brother, Missy. All right, that's for another show. that thought just crossed my mind.
I notice it's only English players.
Okay, only English players. Only English players. The players were already discussing amongst themselves to plan to help together. That's exactly right, Kyrie James. You know, Liverpool, I think it's James Milner or Jordan Henderson. One of them have been putting together a group of discussion going on to figure out how they can help. Now, to that end, a few clubs have furloughed non-playing staff. Bournemouth, Spurs, and another club. But
Liverpool.
The thing of the matter is Liverpool. And Liverpool has been getting a lot of backlash for this. When you furlough staff, now they're dependent on the government to pay 80% of their salary. The criticism of Liverpool and the Spirit of Shankly, which is the supporters group of Liverpool, have written to the club and asked for explanation on this, is that you should not. You've made a bag of money last year. How are you dependent on taxpayer dollars to cover non-playing staff salaries? Come on, you're chomping at the bit because you get to beat Liverpool one more time again.
Listen, we talk about this the last show, and we talk about them. We're kind of like we're baffled. These clubs make so much money in regards to revenue, you know, even from broadcasting, right? Merchandise, because me buy jersey for $120. I don't even know why. My husband get one for every birthday when I have is a Liverpool jersey. So they get my 120. But why is it that they have all this money and you're still furloughing in staff? So you're depending on, it's not a good look. It's really not a good look. So, you know, I am disappointed in Liverpool seeing that Manchester City man up and decide to do the right thing. Then just actually make Liverpool look bad. So now we're saying that Liverpool is not deserving of the title. That's not how you treat people. That is not how champions treat people.
And one of the sentiments that we always, football, ball chat is always about is community and football. And one of the criticism of Liverpool that I've heard from some is that, do you really want this club to be a part of your community when they're not willing to ride with those who are struggling and those who are in need in times like these, depending on taxpaying dollars to cover the cost of those non-playing staff. That money should go to other people in society who desperately need it. You know, here in the U.S., 10 million unemployment got filed recently, and similar numbers are coming up in the UK also. Juna, we haven't heard anything yet from Manchester United regarding furlough or not furlough, so I don't know if you're the person to comment on this. But Manchester City, like you said, come on, it was very clear. They made it abundantly clear. We will pay our staffs, and we won't depend on the government money. Junior?
What you want me to say?
About this Liverpool, do you agree with Liverpool choosing to depend on government tax dollars for paying non-playing staff?
Yo, is that different owners, different business ethics, different business morals? Is that it's not a good look? Especially when the health minister come in and asks for 30% of players' salary. How much of that 30% going to go towards paying Liverpool furloughed workers? I don't know. What if that happens? I want to beat Liverpool. I really want to beat them, but I'm trying to think of an angle to beat. I can't beat them. Yo, that's a loophole. If it works, it works. You know, I can't kill them. Honestly, I really wanted to beat Liverpool right now, but I cannot be. I can't find a reason to beat them. I'm telling you why.
I can give a reason. I can give a reason. You don't know which side Manchester United leaning. That's why. That's the reason. Any of Manchester United come out and say, we will pay our non-playing workers. We're not furlough nobody. You talk about, oh, Liverpool are wicked. I say that one. Me never know what Chelsea do, so, but, you know, my back broad.
But, you know, I can say, all right, let me just be honest with you. To pay furloughed workers, you have to have money stored up, right? And that's the name of the game right now. Is a lot of, like Benton, you keep asking, why do these teams come on ask the same way? You make a lot of money, you cannot pay the workers, right? And we see smaller clubs not having the ability to sustain business, and some of them are saying that they might even go out of business. And seeing that Liverpool, they haven't won the Premier League in 30 years, they're just spending money and not getting any money in return. So teams that have been champions or perennial champions like Manchester United, they have the money. I mean, we can easily, how much cups do we have? We can easily pawn a couple of those cups and pay off some furlough workers, but I don't think Liverpool
Benton, cut him, Mike. Benton, cut him, Mike.
Liverpool don't have any money, you know, so they can't.
And contrary to Junior's opinion, Liverpool does have money. Jamie Carragher, former players of Liverpool, Jamie Carragher and a few others. I think Didier Herman also came out and criticized Liverpool for making this decision to furlough staff. In February, Liverpool club announced that they had made a pre-tax profit of £42 million and increased turnover to $533 million. Last year, they also spent £43 million on agent fees. Those are numbers from the BBC. So to that end, that's what Jamie Carragher and Didier Herman and the Spirits of Shankly are saying. We have made a profit. Why do we need to dip our fingers in the taxpayer kitty to pay non-playing staff?
Because it exists. I mean,
because Carrie James said, come on and support a club owned by a man that got rich stealing his country's money.
Hey, whoa.
It's like two wrongs don't make a right.
I have nothing to say.
Kerry, let's stick to the topic at hand now. Liverpool.
Yeah, but Carrie, I suppose you're Liverpool fans. Mm-hmm. El Pistolero and family. Do you agree with Liverpool choosing to go into the taxpayer fund to pay 80% of the non-playing staff salary, whereas a Manchester City deciding to actually, foot the bill? All right. come on, you want to add anything else on that? You still waiting for Chelsea to say something, to actually announce what exactly they're going to do?
Hey, I'm not holding my breath. Chelsea spending some money upon our cat in America where we know them would have want back right now. I don't want anybody talk about regular people living hand to mouth because these clubs just show you so them not safe for a rainy day. So that's ridiculous. But we should shout out Rashford because he, along with some of his teammates, pulled up and they gave the NHS without anybody telling them to do it. They gave them 3.5 million pounds, which they put, out of their pockets. So
Yes.
that's commendable, Manchester United stars.
And I also from Danny Rose also donated some money. I think he donated about £19,000 to help in the effort. So players are stepping up. I need to see more Liverpool players step up and more Manchester United players step up and more Chelsea players up. Because ultimately, you can't have football without a community. You build teams, you want to win trophy and all this stuff, but you need a community and you need a healthy community to support. So these are the times when the community is looking to the teams for their support, And to that end, regarding this 30% cut for the players that's been proposed, the TV rights money, we have not heard anything that the TV sponsors have been pulling or reluctant to pay that money, as we've seen in France. So this notion that money is being withheld from the Premier League clubs, is that far-fetched to believe that the TV money is being withheld? Because in France, I think Canal Sport came out and said that we will not honor these money. We're not going to pay any more money because the league is suspended. We've not heard that from other TVs, the sponsors of the EPL.
Belgium, I think Belgium had the same problem. So I was reading where they said that the TV money will not be paid. They're going to.
Okay, and so you were saying, Junior?
It is easier for Belgium and France, the French league, to say that. It'll be harder for England, Spain, Germany, and Italy to some extent because those are competitive markets. If NBCSN ever come out and say, you know what, I'm not going to bother deal with English Premier League anymore, ESPN will say, oh, okay, well, guess what? I will pay whatever NBCSN would pay you right now for the rights for the next 10 years to broadcast your game. So I think that just speaks more to the strength of the leagues. Why these TV, because it's a gamble. If why would NBCSN right now threaten to not pay England are threatened Fox Sports? I think it's Fox does Bundesliga, right?
Yeah, Fox.
Why would Fox now get up now and say, I'm not going to pay Bundesliga, and make NBCSN say, oh, well, guess what? I will pay you because we know when the pandemic is over, the best episode of Ball Chat will be that Sunday when football comes back. That the most watched games will be that weekend when football come back. It would be extremely dumb for these networking companies to do that. So I don't expect
that. Come on, pivoting away from the EPL, but also comparing these two models. You have the EPL model where there's a struggle for teams and players to make a commitment to help the cause in England, whereas in Germany, it's more a community effort. You have German teams, I think there are 4 or 5 Bundesliga teams that have donated a collective Champions League cut to help in the lower leagues. You have the German system where it seems a more community approach. Bayern Munich, BVB also are stepping up. Your thoughts on what you're in Germany? Are you seeing the similar thing or hearing the similar reports about a community effort to support the lower teams there?
Yeah, I've been reading, the papers and stuff and following. And to be honest, if I was to live anywhere else in the world, I think I live in Germany because
you're stuck.
might as well must stay. But I think they realize that if they help each other, the league will get better and they can get through this. So I think it's more like a community effort, which, yes, I think the government steps in and also they have a scheme similar to what the EPL has. But you don't see the big teams that have all the money running and furloughing players. So they're asking for people to take a pay cut, which I haven't seen anybody griping or having a hard time saying yes. I'm not sure how much they're asking for because some things are really private in the German system. They don't spill their guts like the sun and the mirror or whatever. But I do think that they're showing everybody that if we work together, then good things can come. So I do see the German leagues actually coming out of this unscathed.
Junior,
big up Kofi Powell.
Junior, you're gonna comment on the good things that the German league and German clubs are doing to help each other. Any thoughts on that, Junior? Are you married to your local idiot EPL?
I think Germany has been setting the standard this year in football on and off the field, so I am not surprised. I mean, I think they are trending up in terms of gaining market share. So that makes the German clubs, to me, more willing to work together because they all see. This is just my little non-educated guess. That's my guess, that they know that we are trending up, we are growing in the world stature. Let's come together. Let's keep things going. Let's not lose the momentum. I think that's what they're doing. Personally, I think it's a business decision more than a human decision.
Kofi Paul, big up yourself watching us on Ball Chat Facebook page. Kofi Paul says, "Fat face, come on, bless up. Come on, eating good there in Germany." But Rory Smith of the New York Times had an interesting article about these two systems recently, and he said what we've seen in England is he believed that there's a lack of trust between the Players Association, the Club Association, and the respective entities. I mean, do you agree with that? Any club is trying to gain an advantage by not giving in terms of these negotiations. England, the Club Association and the players were locked in negotiation all the way till Saturday, and they still are not able to come to any sort of amicable resolution on what percentage to be cut of their salary. And to that end, how much are these teams willing to contribute to help the cause as the NHS is really struggling financially or struggling to support? Whereas we see in Germany where it was easily done, things were resolved clearly and quickly. In Italy, Juventus did it quickly with its players. Barcelona, it took a while, but it got done. Why is it still so long in the English Premier League where we still haven't gotten this thing resolved? Because they have to give something. They have to.
You want me to answer it first? Come on.
Yeah, go on.
It's very simple. Because the English Premier League has not come to a final decision with when games will be played. If they come to grips with reality, come to terms with reality, and just come out and say, look, we're not going to play any more games, or we're only going to play 5 games. That will give the players more of an opportunity to say, all right, this is a more palatable percentage to cut. Because how do you expect me to give up 30% of my salary, 1/3 of my salary, and we play more than 2/3 of the games? Mm-hmm. How many games are we losing? Tell me now that you're going to lose 10 games and each game is worth 2% or 1%. I don't know what the numbers is. But if 10 games, and if a game is worth 1% of your salary, and I know we're not playing 10 games, I guess I have no problem giving up 20%. But if I give up 20% and I only lose 2 games, where does that 18% go?
Yeah.
Does it go to the community? Does it go to or does it go to shareholders?
Yeah.
And that speaks to the lack of trust that you're talking about.
And so so you think that the players union is pretty much worried about what is the club giving up in this instance?
Of course, if I was a player or an agent or a member of the union, that would be my question, of course, because the question we are all asking is, how can you pay me X dollars, but you cannot give up X minus 20,000? Why can't you give up less than X? Why? Mm-hmm. How am I getting my money, but you're going to come to me and ask me? And you're the one paying me my salary, But no, I have to give up money for you to give to the community. Why can't you give to the community? Where's your money given to the community?
And come on, the rebuttal point that the clubs will say, well, if you will allow me to cut your salary, I could give money to the cause. If I don't have to pay you, then I can contribute money to the cause. Because
Yeah,
currently
but
I don't have any money coming in.
that makes no sense. But anyway, so I was reading some figures from the PFA where they were talking about that a 30% pay cut from the players would be detrimental to the NHS.
Yes.
Because the player's salary, the taxes that they get from the player's salary goes towards NHS and all the other public services. And the league is saying that if the players take a 30% salary cut in order to protect employment, then that equates to 500 million euros in wage reductions over 12 months and a loss in tax contributions of more than 200 million pounds in the UK government. So it's like it's different things. Why you see they're kind of going back and forth. The players they're saying, according to Wayne Rooney and Rose, they're saying we want to give up some of the money, but we want to make sure that what we're giving up goes to whatever. So what you're saying is actually correct, Benton. So I don't think it's that the players don't want to give up the money, but they want to make sure that it goes where it says it's going to go.
For all the Liverpool fans joining us on Island Sports Network, on Ball Chat Facebook page, or whatever platform you're watching us on, do you agree with Liverpool using tax dollars to pay non-playing staff that has been furloughed? 80% of those non-playing staff salary will be covered by the taxman himself, and Liverpool is getting a bit of stick for that, whereas Manchester City saying, yo, we'll pay, we don't depend on the taxman to cover our debt. Gary Lineker, we want to wrap this up. Gary Lineker also this is a very heated debate. Gary Lineker said that why don't they go to the wealthier members of society and try to get them to help if they can? Why footballers always have to be the one to give up something?
Can I answer that question?
Those are the wealthy members of society. What is he saying? Look at it. Look at Jack Grealish, who was drunk the other day, crashed in Range Rover, and he thought the Range Rover was just a small thing. He left it on the side of the road and go somewhere else. So them are the ones who have money to contribute to things like this. So I don't listen. Remember, Offenheim, look at it. Offenheim is a very small club. And without asking twice, the players took a pay cut. The Offenheim boss said himself, for a small club in recent years, we have had success and created a cushion, and it is now time to give back. Liverpool have money. This is what Liverpool is supposed to be saying. We have a cushion. It is time to give back.
And I just want to read the exact comment from quote from Gary Lineker. I don't want to misrepresent his word. This is from the BBC. He says, quote, why not call on the wealthy to try and help if they possibly can, rather than just pick on footballers? He said that on a BBC program. I guess, Regin, the footballers is among the wealthy.
Listen, who get 200,000 pounds a week? What would he call a person who makes 200,000 pounds a week? Barely getting by, not wealthy. What kind of fool argument that?
Big up to Dwight. Big up to Dwight Spence watching us on Island Sports Network. Sorry, come on. Dwight says that the players make good salaries, but they're very foolish with their money. This is why it's probably reluctant. If Dwight's point is accurate, and I know in some instances that it is, that's probably why they're reluctant to give up 30%. But football lovers just joining us, we're discussing the running dispute between the Premier League Players Association and the FA and the clubs in England. Asking the players to take a 30% cut. They were locked in negotiation all the way till yesterday, and they couldn't come to an agreement. Teams are furloughing players. The main team that really did this and is getting a backlash is Liverpool, furloughed its non-playing staff, and subsequently is dependent on 80% of those non-playing staff salary to come from the tax dollars of the community. And the other 20% the club will cover. Chime in, let us know how you feel. Kerry James says billionaire owners of other companies going to use it. Football isn't different. And I remind me that's in regard to what the Mr. Jim. Dwight Spence says their careers only last from 16 to 36 years old. The owners are the billionaires. Tell them to take a cut in profits. That's what Dwight Spence says. But the bottom line is that Junior and Camon, as they debate about this issue, this pandemic continues and time is lost when money is needed to try to arrest or get some of this thing under control. Junior?
I agree. There's no wrong answer and there's no right answer. There should just be an agreed strategy. At the end of the day, money is needed. Where the money come from, it shouldn't matter. I don't think the scientists, I don't think the health workers, I don't think the ministries of health all over the world care. Money is money. If we want $1 million, any little bit can help. If you have some money that you can donate to help fight a virus that you are going to be directly impacted by, then go ahead and give that money. At the end of the day, that should be the message that is given out. And you know what? We should use our platform. Island Sports, I'm on Island Sports right now. I'm on YouTube, I'm on Facebook. Hey, bring in the ball chat people. Let us tell the people, if you have anything, give some money. If you not 30%, not 20%, not 10%, give us some money that fall. We don't want a jingle money. Money that fall. If you want to write a big check, write a big check. It doesn't matter where it comes from, because we need football to play again. That's the message that needs to go into these players' heads, into these owners' heads, into society head. Social distancing, collect the money. My beard a grow, I can't go barber. I want football back on my TV, please.
Step away from the ledge, Junior. Step away from the ledge. Step away. But as we move on, I want to big up my Atlanta United owner, Atlanta's own Arthur Blank, for agreeing to pay the staff, the non-playing staff, their regular salary. This is what you're supposed to do, Liverpool Football Club. Come on, you can say Arthur Blank and Atlanta United did something right for once, right?
For once. I'm just waiting on DC to follow suit.
Wait. You waited on who? Wait, you said you waited at DC? You forget what is and who is in DC? You talk about Washington District of Columbia, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where all of those great houses are and those great Senate-like buildings. You're waiting for who?
And just to kind of get your thoughts on this, and Dwight Spence just brought up a very good point. He said he's watching us on Island Sports Network. He said transfer fees will drop severely.
I agree.
And when this thing all picks up again, and when football all kicks on again, and football lovers, we're just trying to take away from the current pandemic. You know, we're having a friendly, lively discussion and just take our mind off the current situation and the current climate. But to that end, the projections or some models out there show that the transfer fees will drop severely. Do you think these clubs or club owners are trying to hold on to their money just to gain an advantage over the other? Come on, you're smiling because you know that guilty of Chelsea.
You know what? You know what? Let me not say what I'm going to say, because I'm still upset about this Captain America purchase. It was just so ridiculous. But he's correct, and we do hope so, because we've been seeing some values. I think some players were actually overvalued and overpriced, and I hope that they get smarter with their money. You know, you can't be just spending all this money. So look at this thing. So clubs can find money to get a player for 75 million, but then you want to furlough the people who actually work for you, the people who run the clubs. I mean, yes. That's pathetic.
People who keep the players clean. I mean, we're talking about this pandemic now, and one of the big things is to keep the players sanitized and keep it clean. Those are the people who are instrumental in doing that day in and day out.
Right,
Um,
and then and I'm sorry, and then the scheme that England has in place, the employment scheme, it is said that they only pay up to £2,500 per month. So so 2,000, that's 80% of the stuff. So they're saying that the clubs will try to pay the other 20%. So it's terrible. What if somebody was making £5,000 a month? This is the maximum that the employment scheme will pay.
all right. As we wrap up our show, but we also want to give an update on football in our own backyard. President, Premier League Club Association President, Mr. Mike Henry put out a statement recently, and of course, they're hoping to finish the season. Well, one of the big notes about it, of course, it depends on the climate surrounding the COVID-19 and as things develop. But a lot of Jamaican players who play in the Premier League are feeling a pinch now. The clubs are feeling a pinch. They agreed in the statement. He says that sponsors agreed to stay on. Your thoughts on this? Come on, I'm trying to pull up the statement. He says payment of salaries to players and staff in April 2020 and additional non-playing periods would be at the discretion of the clubs, but are not to exceed 50% thereof. So is it leaving too much in the hands of the club? Why can't we just mandate that, yo? Because I know some yard brethren who may in charge of a club and the man say, yo, what you know? Them say, it's at my discretion. So you can get that 1%, 2%, as long as we not go over 50%. Should the Premier League Clubs Association be more aggressive in saying, pay the players 5%, 10%, or 60%?
They should. I mean, 50% of zero is zero. Let us not cut the yard man their money. It's crazy. But you are correct. When you do this and you leave it open ended, then a team, you know what? So let me kind of take that back a little bit. Maybe they're trying to help some of the teams, some of the clubs that don't have the money, like a Mount Pleasant. A Mount Pleasant might have money that can, just take maybe 50% of a player's salary and pay, versus another club, without the revenue stream, cannot afford to pay the player 50%. So maybe they're taking that into consideration. But you are correct. I think leaving it into the hands of the clubs, I think it's a little bit dangerous. So now a player, if a player don't agree, so for example, the owner or the coach call you in, the manager call you in for a meeting, you're a player, and you go in and say, this is what we're going to offer you. We are going to only pay you 20% of your salary because they're saying that, we can reduce the payment and this is what we are willing to offer. So if a player says that they're not willing to take that 20%, what is left for that player to do? What is the recourse? So it's too open-ended, yes, but you also have to take into consideration that not a lot of teams have the finances to kind of, pay players now in a time when there's no revenue.
And Kerry James says PLCA can't do that. Some of these teams don't have the cash to survive without the revenue. Dwight Spence says, locally in Jamaica, we need a reduction in the amount of clubs without youth programs. Consolidate the clubs. So my question is, if I'm going to have money to survive, then why am I a team then?
Thank you.
Is that the next question? Mr. James, if I'm going to have the money to survive, why am I a team then? Junior?
You could have asked Liverpool the same thing, and Liverpool is cash rich.
Well, Liverpool have the money to survive.
Let me tell you something. The pandemic is going to make a lot of things get reevaluated. And I think the way how these teams, these clubs are run, especially in RSPL, going to be reevaluated. This rainy day scenario where this what if scenario, what if you can't play in the games for 2 months? Mm-hmm. What do we have in place to survive?
Yeah.
Now everybody with sense is going to come now and say, let us go to the table and let us figure out what is a realistic amount of time that a team should be able to sustain itself without any revenue.
Yes. This is
And
true.
let's make sure every team have that money in the bank.
Yes, a survival
A survival,
really
yeah.
fun.
Just have that survival kit because
Yeah, running like you run your yard.
yeah. Because, well, some people have high credit card bills still. So, but in reality though, I think ultimately, and this is a very big if the powers to be really sit down and match this thing up properly, they can make RSPL a lot more attractive because now they can have more concrete things laid out that will make sponsors be willing to listen to the pitches. When a team can come in and say, look, I guarantee that every club in my league is going to have 3 months of basic whatever salary sitting there. That will make a supplicant want or whoever, Water or whoever want to push money into this league, which will subsequently make the league grow. And me know come on going to say, where the money going to come from? But yeah, well, come on. I am not the economist. They need to hire that economist that can figure it out.
But listen, but listen, Sir Bentham, we talked about this already. The Western Premier League is not attracting people to the games, and we talk about why. Remember, we talk about why?
Yes.
Because those things need to be fixed. You see, once they start to implement systems and put things in place where they will generate income. Listen, nobody likes to go football match like liquor pit in them at Jamaica. If you have a kids corner, if you have a kids package, we know say on a Saturday and a Sunday, the father and the mother them come as a family to come watch the Western Premier League. A double header. Put the U14s or the U16s to play first. Then you use the woman them for play. Then you use the man them, the big game as the finale. Get them in the seats, get the money, sell jerseys, be at the game, sell jerseys, sell whistles, they can make the money. Once you start get the revenue in, then you can fix up the league. But for now, everybody, if you're not a Mount Pleasant, you know no money. Look on Benton team. Just drop off a share.
Don't worry. My team is my Lions. We still wait for a jersey. Check out the interview with Martin Davis that we did last week on all our podcast platform. Martin Davis alluded to some of this during last week's show when he said that we need some better marketing strategy to help the league or giving pointers. As we wrap up the show, Football Family, Kerry James says he has team for the love of the game. Kofi Powell says, ball chat, we have to start a EPL PlayStation competition to keep going. Link Jr., he's the EPL, he's the PlayStation junkie around here, and Snake Gardner.
Well, general on PlayStation. FIFA 20. Anybody want war on FIFA 20? PlayStation. Cause big men play PlayStation. Little boys play Xbox.
And little boys play. Kerry James also says football in Jamaica doesn't make sense from a financial point of view. It's just people that love the game. Football Family, let's wrap up the show. Come on, you have anything else?
No, that's it. We done rant already about Western Premier League.
You done rant already. Football Family.
But Benton, I have something to say still because
sorry.
Last week we had Martin Davis on, and what we're trying to do now every week is hold on. Kofi Powell saying ready for all right. Bring dirty Liverpool too. I have Manchester United. Anyway.
Kofi Powell, we still didn't hear what you have to say about Liverpool and using the taxman money to pay the non-playing staff. You're avoiding, you're staying wide of that one, Kofi Powell. What's your thoughts? Junior, sorry about.
Yeah, so every week, what we're trying to do, if you're listening to the show right now, and you want to be a part, not take part in the show, not be a fan of the show, blah blah blah. If you really want to be join this discussion that we have, you see the discussion we have every week. Reach out to us right now. You can email us. We're going to give you all the contacts, and you can also reach out to Island Sports as well. And just let us know you want to be a part of the show. All you need to do is to have access to Zoom, and you don't chat a bag of foolishness. That's all. and
It's all
nobody else.
relative. The bag of foolishness is all relative.
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, you know,
Big up yourself, Liz on New York, who said ball shots out bag of foolishness every week. I'm still waiting for him to forward. Man, kinda dark. Football family, follow the safety guidelines from the public health officials. Please be safe. If you're in one of the epicenters in New York, here in the States, you know, New Orleans area, in Cali, be safe. I know we have tons of listeners in New York. I guess ball chat listenership gone to the roof Monday at them yard. No, nothing for do.
We know some people that were directly affected by the virus or indirectly affected by the virus, and we're not going to bring it out with the public. We'll just let them know that thoughts and prayers are with you and the family and everybody that's listening right now. Even if you don't know personally, if you know somebody that's affected by the virus, our thoughts and prayers are with you guys. And hopefully you guys really pull through this and, you know, get back to normal and we can talk some football and all kind of things.
We in this together, football family. You link us anytime you want to talk. We're here for you. It's all about the family riding together. Kofi Powell says, ball chat, enough love for the show. Very informative. But Kofi still don't answer the Liverpool question. Should Liverpool take money from the tax? Yeah, should non-playing staff of Liverpool depend on taxpayers' dollars to get that 80% salary? Football lovers joining us on any platform, you can take part in the show. We be safe. Very important.
I know you can follow us on Instagram at BallChat Podcast, on Twitter at BallChat1, on Facebook at BallChat. You can also email us at ballchatpodcast@gmail.com. If you want to take part in the show, send us an email, ballchatpodcast@gmail.com. Oh, him said, boss to pay that. Kofi said, boss to pay that.
Up. Respect, family.
Hold on, Benton. No. Benton.
Yes.
That's a trick answer. Who is the boss to pay that?
The Liverpool is the boss.
Are you sure? What if I talk about the Queen? But you can also email us at ballchatpodcast@gmail.com. As you can see, every one of our episodes are airing live on Island Sports Network. And make sure you guys remember this. When sports was down, when we had nothing to do, Ball Chat was there for you. This sounds like a State Farm commercial. We were there in trying times. And we will be there in the good times as well. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Email us at ballchatpodcast@gmail.com. You can also listen to the audio version of the show on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeartRadio. You can also re-air the show at YouTube. You know where we are. You know how to find. Hey, that's so wicked, don't it?
Yes, it sounds wicked. Kofi Powell says, Junior, you is a politician. Look more football family. Junior is a Edward Siaga reincarnation.
Look more. Shout. Look more.
Look more.